So no matter what your voice is, there's an option for you here. And what 11 Labs actually said was that some of their best earners were earning over 10,000 a month.
No, you don't have to land at the pro level. You've got to land at the creator level.
So there's a lot of talk about AI destroying jobs or AI eliminating jobs. But when you do the research, you actually find that there's quite a lot of research that shows that AI is creating jobs. Number of jobs being created is actually more than the number of jobs being lost to AI. And on top of that, there's actually quite a lot of evidence that AI is helping wages to increase. Now, 11 Labs recently indicated that they are paying out literally millions of dollars to professional voice clone artists. And this amount that they're paying is increasing exponentially every year. So there's plenty of opportunity. And in this video, we're going to take a look at what opportunities are there and how you can actually go about benefiting from professional voice cloning. Now, naturally, you're going to start off on 11 Labs. I'll have a link that will allow you to set up an account and you'll be able to get whatever discounts are going with that link. And we're going to go to Voices, to My Voices, and I'll demonstrate to you how all of this works. Now, there are plenty of options for buyers who want to use professional voices. And if we go to My Voices, you can see some of the voices that I have set up over time. Now, we can also get a feeling about these voices. So let me give you this newsreader.
Here on BBC News, all the big stories as they happen. Sports, business,
And then we've got this cute Chinese voice as well. Let's see what that sounds like.
头顶的彩虹则象征着许多美好的机遇都将降临到你头上。
Now, I've actually used that voice. Most of these voices I've used, and you can see that there are different voices with different characteristics. When you set up your own voice, you will be able to do as this guy here has done. The professional voices are available to subscribers to 11 Labs. And because they're available to subscribers, you start earning as soon as people start using your voice. Now, this particular voice here, you can see that you can set these settings, including the amount of time that is going to be available. And you can also set a notice period about when you're going to actually withdraw the voice. So you're in total control of what happens to your voice on the platform. And as I've indicated, the earnings can be quite significant. So let's see how to get started.
No, you don't have to land at the pro level. You've got to land at the creator level.
To get started, you will need to sign up, and once you've signed up, you'll get a free account and you can upgrade that account to different levels. The ideal level is the pro level because that gives you access to all the services that you need. But even if you have a free account, you can still experiment and see what the service can do at a very basic level. But you want to land at the pro level. No, you don't have to land at the pro level. You've got to land at the creator level. The creator level, and you can get a discount of 50% using the link I've got in the description. This allows you, the creator level allows you to create a professional voice clone. Now, that's all you need to create a professional voice clone in terms of the account dynamics. You won't have access to this until you've got an account at this level, but use the link in the description and this offer should be available for you if you sign up now. It actually benefits you in many ways because you don't have to compete against so many people when you do start producing your professional voice clones. They are limited just to subscribers who are paying. If you don't have that level, you can still use the voices and you can still search the environment. You're sort of limited in what you can do, but you can still do quite a lot. So on a free account, you can still access the professional voices and you can hear what they sound like. And that will allow you to actually just go ahead and test the quality levels to see if you think you can compete or if you think you might need to maybe get extra equipment. So we'll go through the quality levels. Those are really important because you do need to have a good quality recording. In actual fact, if you have a really superb quality recording, there are all sorts of benefits that flow to you. Let's go and take a look at one gentleman here and what sort of voice we can get from him. Actually, we can go ahead and look at previous recordings that I've made. So let's go to text to speech and let's see. Let's use one of the default voices. The default voices are fantastic, by the way. You don't need to have a paid account in order just to experiment with these ones. Let's see my history, and you can hear what the default voices sound like. They're good. They're good.
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Salzburg in 1756 and became one of the most extraordinary composers of the classical era. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart est né à Salzbourg en 1756 et devint l'un des compositeurs les plus extraordinaires de l'époque classique.
So you yourself might be able to hear yourself speaking in perfect French once you've got your voice here. What we'll do is to take a look at the process of setting things up. But now let's see what happens once you've got the paid account and what opens up to you. Now, once you've upgraded to the creator tier, not the pro tier, the creator tier, you will then have access to instant voice clones, professional voice clones. These are the ones that we want. You'll have a bunch of other options as well, and you will get a benefit of video. You can actually make video. Let me very quickly show you what you can do with a video. It also includes video, and you can do video like the very popular C dance. So there's a lot going on. Let me show you how to set up the professional voice clone. So for setting up the voice clone, we need to go to the voices area. And that's exactly where we started off. Once we're in the voice area, we need to go to create voice, and then you can go and choose your professional voice. Now, I haven't got any slots available for my professional voice because I get one slot for this account. You have to go up a couple of steps beyond the pro level to another level in order to get more voices. So let's take a look at the voice that I created, and you'll be able to learn from the mistakes that I made. So all of these people here have created voices, and the quality of the voices typically is very high. This one is probably my favorite one.
The thing always happens that you really believe in, and the belief in a thing makes it happen.
Now, the voices that count for professional voices include English. You've got Indian voices.
किसी ने तब ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं.
You've got a lot of Indian
le clone
voices.
Le plus professionnel et le plus stable sur 11 Labs.
And you've got this Quebec French voice. So no matter what your voice is, there's an option for you here. And what 11 Labs actually said was that some of their best earners were earning over 10,000 a month. So there's competition, but if you do it really well, the potential is quite high. And you don't need to be speaking, standard American English or standard British English to get somewhere. There's a lot of languages you could start to use. Let me see if I can find my voice and explain to you what not to do. A failure is a man who has blundered but is not capable of cashing in on the experience. Do you recognize that voice? Figure out what your audience is likely to want when you actually set up the account or the voice to allow you to earn with that particular voice. Now, I'm not going to use this I might use this voice for earning, but it's not ideal, and I'll explain what went wrong with my voice recording. But in essence, it doesn't sound like the best voice. A man who has blundered but is not capable of cashing in on the experience. The reality is, when you train the voice, you need about 3 hours of quality material. That material is going to be used to train the voice in exactly how you talk. So if I click on push to library, I can then push to earn. Let's try that. Let's see what happens if I push to library. Now, when you push to library, you've got options, and what you can do is to choose for moderation. You can choose custom voice preview, and that will allow you to set the voice preview for your voice in the marketplace. A very important one is the notice period, and you can exclude free users, of course. You want to earn money, so you don't want to just give it away. It gives you an idea of what your projected earnings are for creative and for agents. And you can put in other information as well. Probably come up with a more creative name than that. So the name that you use for the voice should certainly reflect the type of person who is speaking. And you also give a persona. Persona is really important because it tells people what your voice is used for. And the way that voices are used is obviously going to be how you're marketing the voice. It's really important to do a little bit of study. And I can tell you, I'll have some information about what the highest earning niches are for this type of content, for this type of voice creation. And you do need to take into account things like, for instance, if someone is using your voice for an audiobook, they will want to have lots of notice period that your voice is going to be available for them if they want to do a book series for the next 2 years. You really need to think about this in terms of how much time that you decide that you're going to provide your users for their notice. So you've got some licensing flexibility here. Take a look at the voices that already exist and see how people are marketing these voices. And we can choose other details like, for instance, gender, age, and use cases. Use cases is really, really important. Some use cases will essentially determine how you record your voice, because you want to record something which is very different. You want to record something which is very different for narration compared to, for instance, social media. And you really need to study the market a little bit to see how people are doing this. And then there's the agreement. So once you've got the agreement set up there, understand you've got that one voice per your for your account at this level. You have to go up a couple of levels before you get 3 voices. So you really need to think about the quality of your voice, because you're going to be making your voice available for a number of years. And I'll tell you some of the issues that I had, some of the mistakes that I made, and I'll give you some advice on the equipment. One thing that to bear in mind is that if you have a very, very high quality recording, they may give you extra voices that you can record and upload to the marketplace. That's what's called studio quality.
Moi, je suis parfaite pour du conversationnel. Tu peux m'utiliser pour faire genre que je suis une vraie personne qui téléphone. Je suis trop crédible.
Fantastic. She's spontaneous and casual. So you need to think about who's going to be using it and how you're going to record it. Your recording shouldn't be like you're reading from a newspaper. It should be like you're putting in a performance that matches the use case that you're designing for.
This is a magical place.
Yeah.
Notice how the speaker there really pronounces magical. This is something which is already in the AI. The AI has been trained with a particular style of talking, and it replicates that style of talking. So when you're recording your audio, you need to think about what you're going to be.
There's a 24-hour sale on Pixovert courses right now.
That guy is very, very authoritative. I like him. He makes it that you want to do what he's saying.
There's a 24-hour sale on Pixovert courses right now. You can use the code SPRINGNOW to get access at a discounted price. And one of the courses is completely free. Claim it, and you will benefit powerfully.
You see how persuasive that guy is? So you can see the kind of use cases that I use these voices for. It's when my voice just doesn't do. So let's discuss some issues, some problems I experienced when I uploaded my trained voice. I decided that I would use my tutorials rather than do a fresh recording. And the result was audio that was flat. It sounded like a robot. I didn't upload uncompressed audio, so you should really upload .wav files. You don't want to be uploading MP3s if you can avoid it. It worked with MP3s, but the results are not quite as good. And I also decided, look, let me use audio that had already been created from my tutorials. And my tutorials are kind of free-flowing, and I should really have created scripts. You need about 3 hours of very high quality read material in order to get a nice flow. And there was too much post-processing. There's also another thing that I do. There's a thing that I do when I'm doing tutorials. I tend to pause quite a lot, and that sounds weird. So let me give you an idea of what things sound like.
Recording tutorials and using those. Not uploading uncompressed audio. Not creating scripts to read from. Too much post-processing.
Why do I sound German?
Recording tutorials and using those. Not uploading uncompressed audio. Not creating scripts to read from. Too much post-processing.
So you can see that there were some issues in terms of the way that it reads. It's not quite as good as it should be. It's really a little bit, it doesn't flow quite as well as it should. Now, the problems are even worse if we use the previous model, which is version 2, which is my favorite model. So if we go to version 2, recording tutorials and using those, not uploading uncompressed audio, not creating scripts to read from too much post-processing, you can see where the pauses just sound weird. That's where my normal talking style, which contains a lot of pauses, a lot of hesitation, a lot of thinking time, that's where it just does not work. You really need to think through your script and you need to plan your script in advance. So this is version 3, and I would urge you, when you're actually testing your own voice after you've created it, do a lot of testing with different versions of the voices. So you've got version 3, version 2, multilingual, there's a flash version. Just test your voice to see if it works well. If it doesn't, you need to upload an improved version. You also have in version 2, let me see if I can bring up version 2, you've got a whole bunch of options here which increase the variability of the way you speak. So you can see there are a lot of sins that I committed, and what I would want to do is to learn from all of those, and hopefully this has been useful for you. The worst thing is the lack of script. I think if I had a good script, my timing would be a lot better, and I'll be able to be a lot more fancy in terms of what settings I chose in the version 2. Now, the recording tutorials and using those, it was very easy for me to start testing by using my existing recordings, but they contained compressed audio, which is not the best. You can use it, but it's not the best. Creating scripts is essential. You can create those inside of ChatGPT, wherever, and then excellent quality recording materials, excellent acoustics. You that way do not have to spend too much time destroying your recording in post-processing. Hardware is just as important as vocal technique, and it can, in some situations, guarantee that you can get a much higher level of professionalism. The NT1 Signature series from Rode is one of the best, what are known as condenser microphones for recording. And it's one that you can use, and it's capable of capturing the voice at, say, professional levels of accuracy. You've got a 10-year warranty, doesn't get much better than that. Now we can move on to the next recommendation, which is the headphones. The headphones are going to be the MD R7506. These ones are going to match the microphone. So you want headphones that are able to match the microphone in terms of the quality of the audio that they can monitor. So the headphones are maybe even the most important piece of equipment that you're going to be using. And because we're using an XLR setup, that will reduce the amount of noise that you're going to be getting as your input. You'll need a very decent audio interface, and I'm going to recommend one, but there are plenty that you could use that will give you a very good output sound. Now the microphone does need phantom power, so this one provides that, and if you choose to go for an alternative, it does need to have 48 volt phantom power. Now the total cost for the setup recommended here is probably going to be in the region of around $400 or $500, and for some people that may be more than they really want to start off with, and I'll recommend something in the more affordable range. But if you're gunning for the very best quality in terms of audio sound, in terms of data quality as well, then spending a little bit extra will give you a competitive advantage. I'm still researching this, so I'll have something in the description if there is something that I do want to recommend.